friends, welcome to one more session on Java Basics in the series of learning core Java for absolutely beginners. So don't worry if you don't understand every single thing until this video. So because learning any programming language is just like learning an ordinary language. So you just need to practice it until you get it. Okay. So I'm going to quickly take a class. So I have a project here, Java Basics. So in this package, oops concepts, in this package I'm going to take a class. So right click on the package and take, and then new, and then take class. Okay, let's name it as variables concept. Okay. Okay, this time I'm not going to select this main method, just click finish. So now we have our class variable concept in this package, oops concepts. So I'm going to use one shortcut to create main method in Eclipse. So I'm just typing main and hit control space bar and select this main method and press enter. So now we have created one main method using shortcut in Eclipse. So I'm going to take one variable in the type int. Okay, let's say the variable name is my number. Okay, so this my number is variable, okay, in the type of int. So int is a primitive data type. So basically in Java we have 8 primitive data types, so using which you can store the number values, okay, the whole number. Let's store anything, a number into it. So I'm just going to type my number equal to 33. Okay, so now I am storing this 33 value in this my number variable of int type. Okay, so int type is basically an integer type, so using which you can store the whole numbers, like integer numbers, basically some integer numbers. Okay, so if you want to store some integer numbers in your application, you can use int. Okay, so let's I'm just taking one print statement, and let's print out to the console my number, and click this green button to run this application and click on OK. You can see we got 33 as output. Okay, you can take some small numbers in range. So this basically this int capacity is 32 bits. Okay, so that is the capacity of this int data type. Okay, so now let's take, we have one more data type, that is short. We have, let's name it as my short. Okay, so this short data type is used to represent some short values in range. So the short data type capacity is 16 bits. Okay, so this my short is a variable name, and I am adding this 23 value in this my short variable. Okay, I'm storing this 23 value using this my short variable of short data type. Okay, so this short data type capacity is 16 bits in Java. So it is basically used to store very small values. Okay, so let's write sysout and hit control space bar and my short. Click this green button and click on OK. You can see we got 23 in console as output. Okay, Now we have one more variable which is used to store long values. Let's name it as mylong. I'm going to take simply 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so this long data type is used to store very long values up to some range. I don't know the range exactly. For example, if you take 8 9, okay, the range is saying nothing. Okay, so if you see, there is one error is showing up in red color, that I'm going beyond the range of this long data type. So this is not allowed. Okay, this means you are going beyond the range. For example, if you remove these two numbers, it's saying nothing, it is okay. Okay, so that means there is some range. I think you have understood the range of these variables. Okay, so this long data type capacity is 64 bits. So up to 64 bits you can store your value. So beyond 64 bits you cannot store. So that is the concept of range of these data types. So I am just going to print it also, mylong. Let's run this, click on OK. You can see we got the output. Okay, now we have one more variable to represent double values, like floating values. My double 22.33. Okay, so this double data type is used to store the floating values like 20.00, 22.00, like floating values. Okay, now let's print it to the console. Click this run button and click on OK. We got the output 22.33. Okay, this double data type capacity is 64 bits. So up to 64 bits you can store any value into it. So beyond that range you cannot store. Okay, so if you observe this my double, these variable names, all these variable names, the first letter m, the first letter of this variables is in lowercase, and the next letter next word first letter is in uppercase. Okay, so that is a sort of naming conventions in Java, so that everybody should follow, so that the readability of this code will be improved, and if anyone sees this code he can understand it very easily, so without confusing. So it's a sort of naming conventions you should follow. Okay, and we have one more data type called char to represent single values, single characters. So you should take the single characters in single quotes in Java. Let's take y. So this char data type is basically used to store the single characters, a bunch of single characters in Java. So them you have to declare in single quotes. You have to define them in single quotes. Okay, let's print it also. Run this, click on OK. You got the output. Okay, and we have one more data type called boolean. Let's name it as my boolean. So basically this boolean condition has this boolean data type has two values which are true and false. So basically this boolean is used to represent the conditions, either true or false. Okay. Let's print out to the console. Okay, run this, click on OK. See, you got the output true. Okay, let's change it to false. Let's run this, click on OK. You got the false. Okay, so this basically boolean data type is having two conditions only, which are true or false. These true or false are used to represent the conditions in Java. So these conditions are very useful when you are doing with some conditional statements like if condition, any conditional statements in Java. So yeah, so I think I have forgotten one more. There is one more primitive data type which is used to represent the floating values, which is float. So it is just like same as a double data type. Okay, but there is one twist in it. You can see there is an error is showing up is because we see the float data type is this functionality of this data type is just same as the double, but we have to separate the float value from the double value using small f. Okay, the small f means float. That means it is belongs to this float data type. Okay, see, we are just separating this value from this double. Okay, using f letter at the end of the value. Okay, now let's run this. Click on OK. Now you got the output 34.45 as a float value. Okay, so guys, so this is about the primitive data type variables. So basically variable is a container which is used to store some value. Okay, so in Java is everything you have to deal with some data in your application. You have to store and write your data in your program. So to store the data in Java we have variables. So variables are like containers which are used to store the data, so of some types, data types. Okay, so this is about variables, primitive data types, guys. So in the next video I'm going to tell you about some non-primitive data types called classes and objects. Okay, so yeah, so this is all about in this video. So if you like this video, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.